Welcome again to another edition of Biro Sports Talk. I'm your host, Biro, and because I have little hope, I'm going to. Yep, that's what I thought. Something with OBS in this microphone just not wanting to work. So we'll have to let that go, and we'll see how that plays out. As always, though, give Evo Retro a look. They got your gaming accessories, they got all this different stuff. They just got what you need. I got great merchandise from them. Switch Pro controller, it's great. Steering wheel for racing games, always great. Can't say enough how great it is. Link in the bio, of course, description. Of course, you know me, the host. Oh man, I hate this microphone. Biro Sports Talk at Gmail for all your questions. And let's not forget, we're on all social media: Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Instagram. But today's the day a lot of people are looking forward to because they want to hear me talk about the NFC North. But we're also going to talk about the AFC North.
Here's what I found.
Don't know why Siri's talking to me. As always, though, we will be doing a fantasy football league. Contrary to what some people think should happen, what we do is we definitely start up a new league. So it won't. We try to make it so other people can join, not just the same people over and over and over. I'm trying to look before we go, but we're just going to dive right into this NFL stuff. Just checking everything out, as always. So, NFL. We're going to start with the AFC North. I see some preseason games are playing right now. Yeah, we're in preseason. We got not that much longer till football is back. That's why fantasy football got to get going soon. So, as mentioned, though, we're going to start with the AFC North. Because I like to keep my division last. Half out of principle, half just because I like to keep that one. It's personal. I like to keep it last because I know I can get the best out of it. So, last year, the the division that's always been very consistent, it's always competitive. You look at this division and it's 10-7, 9-7-1, 8-9, 8-9. Everyone's talking about everybody. But how do we see this breaking down? The Bengals, obvious choice. I do think Ravens. I think Steelers, and then Browns. I'll be honest. That's the way I see it, and then I'll tell you why. So let's start with the Bengals season. I think they get the win. Got 1, 2, 3, probably 4. They can compete in all these games. They're more than likely looking at this. They're going to get out to a quick start, and I think they slow down. 11-6, probably what I see the Bengals, but again, we'll go over records after all of it. But as mentioned, they were 10-7, so they get a little better, one game better. So I got them there. Why the Ravens next? So the Ravens, not a very good team. Start off the year. Patriots are okay. Bills. Then they got the Bengals. But then they get the Giants. I think they play a lot of lower tier out of division teams. And looking at that alone makes me think they're second. They have a good run for first as well. It's just the reality of it. But I think they're a solid second. I think they could go 10-7, or they could even tie at 11-6. We'll have to see. But I do think the Bengals get it. I mean, Bengals are talented enough to go all the way. They got better on the offensive line, meaning that Burrow has more time to be better, to make plays, extend plays. And here's where it gets interesting. So, Browns and the Steelers. So, why Steelers third, Browns fourth? Obvious answer is the Browns could be without Watson for who knows how long. But let me tell you why I think the Steelers are third. I think it's a closer third than what this sounds. So right now I'm like 11-6, 10-7 with the first two. I think the Steelers are an easy 9-8. I think they're the same as last year. They were basically 9-8 they're 9-7 with a tie. So 9-8, I see it. I think they can be 9-8 again with that defense. Patriots probably beat them. I think they beat the Browns early. Then they got the Jets, lost. Dolphins will be tough. Eagles, I think those two games will be close. Saints, I think they'll beat some teams. I think they're that 9-8, 8-9 range. By far, defense alone is that good. I mean, Mitch can be a decent quarterback. Not great, but decent. We'll have to see what he does. And Mason, of course, you have Mason Rudolph, who's been there, done that. I think letting Pickett develop this year is a must. You got to see what Mitch and Mason do. If Kenny just balls out in practice late in the year, that's when you throw him into the fire. But for now, you got to definitely run with Mitch and Mason this year. And that's why I think they're in a solid 3. I mean, they could surprise and win a lot more games. Mitch could probably show what he is, but I think they're a 9-8 team. I really do. And then comes the Browns. So much turmoil, so much change in general for the Browns. What do we see? What can we do to fix any of this? I mean, really, what is there? I'll tell you what, man. So looking at this, the Browns, I think the Panthers game will be tough. I think the Panthers do win. I do think with Watson out, no matter what, at the thought of it right now for the second game, I think the Jets could pull that one off. Steelers will be tough. Falcons, I think they can win. But I'm looking at their schedule. They have a rough schedule. But they could very well easily be 7-10? Yeah, 7-10. I still don't see them dropping much. I don't see them going below 6-11. They're too talented to be 6-11. If you look at their home and away last year, they just were bad at being on the road. Sorry. You look at their schedule this year. I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not. So they have 9 away games again. Wow. But anyways, I do think with the Watson situation, I think 6-11 is the more realistic finish. I think 7-10 would be an optimistic finish. Anything above that, is pretty much just outstanding for them. And that's why I have them the way I do. Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, Browns. If anything, I might switch the Ravens and Bengals, and the reason being, I think the Ravens have a slightly easier schedule. Just saying. And that would be the only reason. Looking at next, so NFC North. NFC North, I mean, on the wall off to my side here, Bears jerseys. I got a Charles Tillman Punch-Out poster signed. I mean, I am a Bears guy. Am I going to put the Bears first? No. Do I think they're second? No. I do think they're still third. It's just the reality. I think the Lions do get better. I do. I just think there's a lot more needed for the Lions still. And that's me trying to be nice. Minnesota, I don't know what to think of them. They should be contention. Again, should be is a strong word. Let's see, looking at the Lions, yep. Yeah, it's rough, man. Thinking who they can beat. But I got Lions last. I do think they're more of a 5-10 team. Yeah, that's raw. So wrong. It'd be 5-12. There we go. 5-12. I think the Bears are at best a 7-10 team. I really do. And that's rough. 1, 2. I think they win that. I think they could win that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Could win that. Could win that. Could win that. 8, 9. Yeah. Yeah. I think they're 7-10. Could easily be 7-10. And I think that's optimistic. Lions, there's just not a lot of easy games on their schedule. I mean, they got an uphill climb no matter how you look at it. You want to look at, let's say, last year for them. I know I didn't really do this for the AFC North this time around. That's okay. We'll deal with it. But like the Lions, yeah, they have the same rough beginning. Like, I can't see them beating anyone in the beginning. Uh, they tied the Steelers, though. That's the tie. See, they beat Minnesota, though. They beat Arizona, and they beat Green Bay. Couldn't beat the Bears. Yeah, how that happened. But yet they can beat the Vikings and the Packers. Yeah, no idea. But I think the Lions are, again, they're going to struggle. They need more. They just need more. They're just not quite there yet. I think they do get better. They got better defensive player, good receiver, another defense. They got guys. I think another year they'll probably get a good swing with their players if they get another early pick. With the Bears, like I said, 7-10, it all depends on how this wide receiver group works, man. I mean, it is. Ugh. I hate to say it. It's this Roquan Smith wanting to be traded is just when you want things to calm down, they just don't. And it happens all the time with turnover, man. I mean, new coach, it happens. It all happens. You got to deal with it. It's just what it is. So, looking at this team, you got to get Roquan. You got to get him back. I don't care what it costs, get him back. He's the guy you need. How this defense plays all depends on scheme and everything. Roquan's just too good that he should fit, no matter what scheme it is. He's that good. But a team, I'm going to put them second, honestly. And this is usually what happens every now and then. I think the Packers are second. Now, hear me out. They play the Vikings right away. They play the Bears, Bucks. They do get Giants, Jets, Commanders. They get some easy games, too. Don't get me wrong. They do play the Cowboys, though. They play some tougher teams. But I think they're a solid 2 or 1. High ceiling, they can win 13 games like last year. Again, high ceiling. Do I think they'll win 13 games? No, I don't. Without Adams on the team, I think you see a little more of the struggle moving the ball. Normally in their losses, you see bad defensive play, and then Kansas City was just a mess, 13-7. But Rodgers didn't play that. That was a Jordan Love game. But then there was also the 38-3 blowout the Saints had. So like I said, you got to take it in stride. I think they lose some of these games. So, like, if you look at the Packers, man, they had a close game with San Fran in Week 3 last year. They had a close game with the Bengals. They had a close game with Arizona. That's 8 points, technically. So, the Rams, 2 points with the Browns. Right there's 5 games they won. 1, 2, 3, and 3 losses. They're about right where they're going to be, 5-3. I think they're more 4-4 or 3-5 this year without Adams. But they should, again, win a lot of these. That's why I'm going like a 10. I think they're 10-7. I think they're still wild card. The Vikings, though, this is going to be interesting. And I say that with all due respect, as some would say. So the Vikings, I'm looking at them from, let's look at them last year. I mean, they don't have the same scheme anymore. 1, 2, right there. 3, win, win, loss, loss. Win, win, loss, loss. Win, technically win, loss, and then they get it together the last 2. So I'm looking at a 6-8 record in 1 point or 1 score games. 6-8, like that's just way too many. They lost 9 times. I don't think they're a team that should be a case. They should have beaten the Browns, in all honesty. They probably should have beaten the Cardinals, in all honesty. I mean, they lost to the Bengals first weekend. Happens. But they could have won that too. Each of these games, I could say they could have won. Dallas, they should have won. Baltimore. Lions, they definitely should have won. Let's just say what it is. Lions should have won. Not won that. But I mean, they're known to just come up short. Cousins, he's a good, decent enough quarterback that he should be better than 500, but he's a very 500 quarterback in wins losses. I don't know why he is. He just is. But I look at this schedule. Say the Packers win the first one. I think they could beat the Eagles even if they lose to the Eagles. You got Detroit. I think that's a win. I think you beat the Saints. I think you beat the Bears. I think you beat the Dolphins. Staring at a 4-2 record. Go about 2-4 in the next 4. And then you kind of have a decent easy to win schedule at the end, I think they're going to be that 11 and I think it's 6. 11 and 6 to 12 and 5. They seem ready for that jump up. Again, another team that just failed at away games. I just think that's the case. And like I said, the Bears, they're going to struggle. I mean, like I said, 7 and 10 would be the ceiling, and that's what I'm putting them at. Anything higher is bonus, and I would love to see it higher. I would. Justin Fields, if anyone's going to put it together, he's going to find a way to get it done. That's me being nice. I really think he could, though. I really do. I believe in him. Ooh, I didn't know we had Demontre Tuggle. So, for those that don't know, I'm an OU boy. I went to Ohio University. Tuggle is a former Ohio Bobcat. Did not know. He was a very decent running back. I didn't know he was one of the guys on the Bears roster. So, glad to see him. I like seeing that because he's a very talented guy. The receiving core, though, we know Mooney's going to be great. Looking at everybody else, we're kind of like, what's going on? But we'll wait and see. I don't want to just come out of the woodwork and just say, knock on everybody and just say there's nobody. I mean, you got Cole Kmet, who's supposed to break out this year. Usually what tight ends do with rookie or young quarterback, is become available and open. The lines surprisingly patching together with young talent, which is good. But it still pains me to not have the Bears higher than third. I mean, it just is the facts. I want them to be higher than third. I'll obviously be playing Madden this year, and they'll be higher than third when I'm playing. But sadly, I don't see that changing otherwise. Looking at other news in other sports, because, next week we will do a full season prediction, accurately, preferably, along with, we'll try and line up week 1. Week 1, I believe that's not the right association. We are not in the right association. No one cares about the NBA right now. We want to look at the NFL. But, because real quick note, because this is very important to me, the NBA is retiring Bill Russell's number 6. So if you haven't heard, Bill Russell sadly passed away. I forget exactly when. I forget. What day was that? Bill Russell. Passed away at the end of July. Wow, man, I really missed this. Passed away on July 31st. But the NBA has officially come out and said they are retiring number 6 for all 30 teams. I do think that means something. I mean, he was just a great basketball player. The thing I just don't see changing. He played 13 years. Sorry, I'm trying. I think he won 11 championships. Yeah, he's 11-time NBA champion. 11 times. And I don't think anyone's going to match that, and that's something the Celtics are the only ones who could ever say they could be. Everyone else has won very sporadically and spread out. But he's 11-time champion. Hopefully he'll rest in peace now. But the NBA, number 6, has been retired. Team will be allowed to issue number 6 to starting. No NBA team will be allowed to issue number 6. So who needs to change their number? LeBron's the big one because he was number 6. 25 players wore number 6 last year, including James, Kristaps Porzingis, Alex Caruso, Montrezl Harrell, and Lou Williams, to name a few of the high-profile, quote-unquote, players. Honestly, the only big name is LeBron. Porzingis is kind of a fading star. Caruso's just a sixth man. Harrell's a sixth man, and Lou Williams is a sixth man. Hence the number 6. Good times. Good times. But yes, the NFL officially begins week 1 in September. September 8th. That's a month away. We will probably, like I said, we'll do next week will be the official full season prediction, how it will end up. See if it matches up with these predictions. Let's see, and then the following, let's see, that's week 2 preseason. Essentially. Man, they are loose with these numbers. Like I said, yep, so then week 3 of preseason, we will talk. Man, I'm trying to map out everything. So week 3, oh man. Let's see. Oh, I forgot they have that extra week now. Man. We'll probably talk about some other sports, obviously, because we have baseball coming down to the wire. We got college football that will start up first. So we'll probably talk about that. I just know that week 8, so September 8th, we will be doing our first round picks as always. Week 1. We will be keeping better track this year. I know Corbin and Tressa were neck and neck with me last year. This year we'll actually have a running tally, and we'll try to get graphics up so everyone sees it. Try to do graphics all around, maybe. We'll see. I'm a busy man. Yeah, man, install, man. Install, yeah. So, with that, I leave you all with this. I will see you next week, normal time, because, we got to be normal time next week. As always, we're on all social media platforms. Any questions, send it to byrosportstalk@gmail.com. And I'm your host, Byro. It's always, hopefully, you maybe get a mic that works, because this one doesn't seem to work, because there's no spike in sound, because it's coming through the laptop. Right now, it's just all for show. So, I will see you guys next time, next Thursday, 7 p.m. as always. Try to, anyways. Whoa, little spike there. One more time, Evo Retro Gaming Needs. See you next week.